Okay, we've been counting down to the rally for the Beavers baseball team, and it is going to begin here at the square very, very shortly. We want to send it out to the bricks right now. Drew and Kathy, take it away.
Hello there again, Brenda.
Yeah,
your thoughts?
We have some business to take care of. Drew is getting some ribbing for a lack of black and orange.
We should point out the woman who's giving me the ribbing. This lovely young woman was giving me a hard time about what? What were you giving me a hard time about?
Not wearing Beaver colors.
And I can take care of it right there. Drape that on him.
It's not really a shirt. You realize that, right?
All
it's a
right,
flag.
as we do that, let's take a view from Sky 8 as the Beaver motorcade makes its way here to Pioneer Courthouse Square.
Yes.
They arrived at PDX, immediately got in these limos, and it's been, 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. They've been counting us down here. They've been saying 3 to 4 minutes right now, and when they get here, Drew, there are at least 3,000 to 4,000 fans down here to welcome them.
You were trying to estimate how many. Our photographer, Dave Angier, said, probably about 1,200. I said, no. You said, 3,000 or 4,000. Well, as long as we're throwing out numbers that don't really matter, I'm going to say there's 7,000 people here. How about that?
Let's go with that. All we know is Beaver Nation shows up big. Let's catch up with some of the folks. Bill here, you came in your vintage jersey.
Absolutely.
Now tell me how old this thing is.
This, about 20 years. I went to school in the 70s there. This is a big deal. Beaver Nation's showing their pride today, and third national championship. It's a really big deal.
What do you think the key was?
Well, the key was the Arkansas dropped the ball on Wednesday night.
Boy, did they, and thank goodness they did. Let's bring Alex in here. He comes down. You represent the newer generation of Beaver. When did you graduate?
I graduated in 2007.
And you were there when they won the last time, the national
I
title.
celebrated in Corvallis out at Reser Stadium. It was awesome.
What do you have in your hand?
Well, of course, you got to get the newspaper that represents, put it on the wall in the man cave.
Champs, you'd like to get a few autographs on that, I imagine.
Of course, yeah, there should be here any second, so I'm super excited.
All right, number one player you're looking for to sign that paper?
Probably Adley Clutchman.
The most outstanding player of the entire series. Drew, we've been hearing his name over and over again. Thanks, Alex. Enjoy the rally.
I tried to wear the flag. Maybe I can put it down my shirt like a napkin.
Yes, I think that'll work. Yeah, a shirt or cape, just to get some black and orange on you so these fans
will stay on my back.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. We have, like we said, we know it's thousands. How many thousands? Who knows? The Sky 8 shot above gave us a great aerial look at the crowd here at Pioneer Courthouse Square, and we continue to see people coming down here to take in this rally, which should be beginning in earnest in about 2 minutes. We know the motorcade with the players, and they're in limos, by the way, is very close to arriving. I thought in the meantime, the crowd feels a little subdued, Kathy, and I thought between you and I, could we actually get this entire crowd riled up?
Absolutely. I was going to mention there are 80,000 Oregon State alumni in the Portland area, so no surprise as the turnout here. And the chant for all of us is that OSU.
I'm a little bit nervous about going down this road if no one responds, but I'm going to give it a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Follow along. OSU, Oregon State, fight, fight, fight. OSU, Oregon State, fight, fight, fight.
Awesome, Beaver Nation. Thank you.
Yeah.
We like that.
That's the voice. I was like, please, I hope they keep going because I will lose my voice. That's a strong voice.
Thank you.
How many years have you been a fan of the Beavers?
Since I first went to the Rose Bowl in 1965 Rose Bowl.
But your shirt says Eastern Oregon University
I just happened to be
rodeo
down
team.
Here you go. You can tuck that in like a
Pass
napkin.
the flag.
Tuck that in like a napkin, and it works like a shirt.
Here we go, Beavers!
You remember the 06 run, the 07 run? Now you've got the 2018 run. Compare this run to the past two. Which one was more nerve-wracking to you?
I think this one, because we wanted it so bad after last year. It was just amazing.
Apparently the big moment of the day is very close now, Kathy. We appreciate your fandom. You can, do I have to take this back? You probably need this back.
That was
I need the
outside
napkin
of my house
back.
until this morning.
Sorry.
Oh, Beavers!
Woo, yes, and the limos are just arriving here at the square. The limos arriving on the Nordstrom side of the square, from what I understand. You know, that's a lot of limos to dial up at this last minute. They planned this rally because nobody wants to put the jinx on. So over the last couple days, they've been being very careful about what plans they put into place.
And supposedly the team is going to walk right through this black and orange arch of balloons. Now I'm looking past there and going, how the heck are they going to get there?
Right. It's a crush down here, and apparently if there's parking up there by Nordstrom, they'll probably cross down here because they're trying to get to the white stage over there. That's where all the activity is going to take place. We're expecting to hear from Coach Casey, Athletic Director Scott Barnes, and the voice of the Beavers, Mike Parker, will be here, and he always gets a crowd going.
Now, I'm also told that we could hear from some players. To me, it'd be a hard decision. You can't hear from everybody. Who would they pick to speak here today? Because, man, the cast of characters and the talent on that team is so rich.
So many of the players have pointed to Stephen Kwan as the team leader throughout the season. We know he got hurt. He pulled that hamstring in a game and wasn't there for the final series, but he very much I would expect to hear from. Also, Adley Rutschman, most outstanding player. Nick Madrigal, you know, the highest pick ever for the Beavers in the MLB draft. Would expect to hear from him, but it's anybody's guess. It might be an open mic.
Now, we know for sure, like you said, we will hear from the coach, Pat Casey, and Beavers fans for a long time have known that this guy is legend. But do you think this cemented his legend even more around the country, or did he not even need this third national championship?
Oh, I think he did, you know, what's unbelievable. I mean, we all expect it every year going in because the baseball track record is so good in Corvallis, and he has continued to develop kids from around the Northwest region. I mean, you look at kids from Snohomish on the team, you know, kids from the Portland area, Aloha, and, you know, he's continued to hone the best talents from the Northwest. So, yeah, I guess we did expect a third one.
And
but he's so low-key all the time.
All right, the crowd getting a little bit louder. That would suggest to me all heads, Kathy, right now are turned in the direction of our camera now. They're all looking that direction, so it seems like we're going to get the limos here at any moment. Yep, there they are. The buses coming through, the limos, the cheers getting louder here at the square. Thousands on hand on a beautiful summer day in downtown Portland. We have the overhead look to show you right now just how big this crowd is. And as we mentioned, it seems to have grown every minute that we've been here, Kathy, since the top of the noon hour.
Drew, I'm so excited. Would you mind if I run to the other side of the square?
You going?
I want to have a camera over there when they get out.
Will you take a camera with you?
Yeah, so you hold the fort down here.
All right,
I want to go to the other side because I don't want to miss this shot.
My guess is if you go, which you should, go for it.
Kurt,
as soon as you go that way, the team will come this way.
Yeah.
So again, we're down here at Pioneer Courthouse Square today. The rally for the Beavers not officially underway, but one element is already present. We have the fans here. Who loves the Beavers? Let me hear you! So yes, the crowd is certainly ready. The players are close by. In fact, we believe they're like literally on the block. Now it's just a matter of getting the players and the coaching staff and some of the support staff out of their limos, off the buses, onto the square. I will tell you myself that I casually walked down here today from our downtown studios, took my time. I thought I had some time. When I got down here, I realized it's going to be hard to get to our camera in the middle of the square. So it will take some finagling, I'm sure, to get everyone through the crowd, this passionate crowd of Beaver fans, and get them up to the stage. But that moment, we know it. Wow, you're back already? I was just getting on a roll here.
It was impossible to get through the crush of fans. And then I heard you say, as soon as you go over there, they'll come here. And I thought, you know what, he's right. The way my life works, probability-wise, you're absolutely right.
Well, I'm glad you said that because you cemented what I just spoke to. I said it was very hard for me to get from the other side of the square to where we need to be with our camera. So there is going to be some finagling to get those players through the crowd to the stage, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, you know, and once they get here, we expect about a half-hour to 45-minute program by the time they introduce all the players. I understand each player will be introduced individually. And, you know, kind of cool thing, Joe Casey is on the team, Pat Casey's son. He saw some action in Omaha at the World Series. And you remember back when they won the first, Jonathan Casey, his older son, became very much a focal point because he was sort of the team cheerleader, always in the dugout. I saw Jonathan there this year as well. So he's sharing this now with his whole family, but in particular, Joe Casey, now a member of the Oregon State Beavers.
And this year's team pulled off a World Series victory just like that 06 team did. I know it doesn't really matter how you win it. You just want to win the national championship. But like that squad back in 06, they dropped the very first game of the World Series. They had to come back and win 4 in a row, which they did. Then they dropped the first game of the final series, just like that 06 team did. And they came back.
To get to that moment when they got to have their dog pile. Kevin Abel throws to Adley Rutschman for that last out, and the celebration started. This is the first time I've ever seen Benny Beaver join the dog pile. It became a Beaver pile.
Dog piles make me nervous. I was feeling, I mean, they were on top of that young man for a long time last night.
Here you have your star of the game, this freshman pitcher, Kevin Abel, and he's at the bottom of the pile. And did you see the way Rutschman took him down?
Oh, yeah.
Because Rutschman is quite the football player.
A little aggressive, I thought.
Yeah, he started off as Oregon State as a two-sport athlete, kicking for the team, the football team, and then catching for the baseball team, and then decided to go full bore on baseball. But he took Abel down like he knew what he was doing on the football field.
See, as a concerned parent, I would have been out there stealing all the fun, ripping kids. Get off now, it's too much. But I didn't realize, you probably did as a longtime fan, I didn't realize that they were holding off on that dog pile until the final game.
Oh yeah, Coach Casey, that's his #1 rule in playoff baseball. The only dog pile we will ever experience is in Omaha, and the players respect that.
That's
fully.
the mentality of a champion, and
Absolutely,
they pulled it off again.
Absolutely.
So we have the Sky 8 shot right now, and the players are outside of the limos hugging the trophy, Kathy, for everyone to see. So we appreciate that shot from above. They're actually coming out of the roof of the car, holding on to that trophy. And they're taking selfies, apparently.
Well, of course they are. Who wouldn't with the World Series trophy in hand? I'm sure there's been many selfies taken before this hour, and I'm thinking that the players must have been up all night. You consider the time difference and the celebrating that they did afterwards, all clean, I'm sure.
Right.
And then to have to get to the airport, board the charter, and get here in time. It's a no-sleep night for these Beaver players.
And oh, by the way, they're not done, because after this rally here in downtown Portland, it's on to Courthouse. Right now, they're scheduled to have a 4 p.m. rally on the OSU campus at Goss Stadium. And I'm thinking, obviously, the further back this one gets pushed, the further back that one may get pushed.
Right. I mean, I think they'll have some help, getting through traffic, heading down to Corvallis. Hopefully they'll have an escort. I do want to mention, I opened up my email this morning, all excited about this win. And immediately I opened an email looking for fundraising for Goss Stadium at Coleman
right?
Field.
Good time to activate.
Yeah, exactly. It had renderings and the whole bit, and there was a button you could push to donate right then. So they are not losing any sleep over, trying to get some funds out of this and to continue to improve the facility that the Beavers place in. It's already, one of the nicest in the Pac-12, if not the nicest, because they've been able to make improvements since 06 and 07.
Fact of the matter is, championships build championships. It's easier to recruit when you've won national championships, and they already have what seems to be a really talented young roster already. And I'm sure they're just going to continue to build on that from last night's performance.
Yeah, we understand now players are taking a chance, meeting fans, signing copies of that Oregonian. The cover sheet we saw said champs. We had Alex over here wanting to get his signed. They are doing that. So I would imagine they are going to spend quite a bit of time here, Drew.
I will ask the fans, and we'll see if anyone raises their hand, Kathy. I was just curious. Show of hands, who is the biggest Beaver fan in the crowd? I just need one. You're all the biggest Beaver fan, are you? Now, how can you be the biggest Beaver fan? You're not old enough to be the biggest Beaver fan. How old are you, young man?
12.
So this would be, I don't know if you remember that 07 World Series championship. You were about a year old. Can you compare the two, or are you really just focused on the most recent?
I don't really remember the first one, so this one's better, obviously.
Is there a player on this year's squad that really inspires you?
Nick Madrigal.
Now, you play baseball?
Yeah.
Do you play second base like he plays second base?
Yeah.
As well as he plays second base.
No.
Well, you have some years to grow. Make sure that Coach Pat Casey catches your eye here today, because your recruiting starts now, young man. Recruiting starts now. Congratulations on being a Beaver fan. Congratulations again to all the Beavers fans here. If you love your Beavs, let us hear you right now.
Oh yeah, they love them too. They love them too. That was actually a vehicle with a duck sticker on it.
Oh.
But they're giving some Beavers some love. I've seen a few ducks down here. It's the first time I've kind of given a thumbs up to a Ducks fan showing up down here to celebrate.
Truth be told, we have a Duck alum in our ear right now, one of our producers back at the station. I don't hear him giving the team as much love as some of the Beaver or Duck fans you've run into.
Oh, he just said, well, I won't say
don't go
it.
down
He
that
didn't
road.
say go Beavs.
So I would say at this point our rally is a little bit behind schedule, and really the trick the players got here, now I'm going to say it's been over 5 minutes that they've been at the square, but getting them out of the limos onto the stage through all these fans is definitely difficult.
That is the challenge, but that's really what they love. You heard, I think it was Trevor Larnach immediately on the field last night saying, thank you, Beaver Nation. They wanted to thank Beaver Nation right away. They're clearing out this area behind us, Drew.
We could
I'm
be in the
going
hot
to
spot
position
there.
myself
This
over
could be
this
the hot
side
spot,
of this.
Kathy.
We might have been on the right side of the square the whole time. We're told the limos were going to be pulling up here. Do you think we're in the right spot?
I think we are in the right spot. We got the balloons here. This is perfect. Come this way.
You're a little overdressed, but I see you're from U.S. Bank.
I'm an Oregon State student right now.
You're an Oregon State student right now. What are you studying?
Finance.
Finance, we like that for a major.
I went to the ceremony in front of Reeser 2006 and 2007.
Is that right?
Yes, I did.
You were how old back then?
I was 10.
10.
Yes.
What about this team really spoke to you, made them special?
You know what's special about OSU baseball is I went to school at Crescent Valley with Joe Casey, Pat Casey's son. And Joe is just such a great coach.
I remember seeing him playing youth ball. He was a great player back then.
Yeah, and everything about the team, the whole chemistry from the offense, defense, hitting, pitching, the numbers are just perfect.
Yeah, all the analysts would talk about that it factor, and this team having that it factor.
500 is something
Over the
else.
top.
Yes.
Over the top. We have another fan right over your shoulder that we can probably get to.
Fans here, that's right.
Yeah, who introduced your family, sir?
My name's Neil. This is my little man, Owen. Say hi, Owen. Say go Beavs. Yeah, that's right.
Not now, Dad.
Austin, say go Beavs.
I am Go Beavs.
There you go.
Say hi to Austin as well.
We got, that's right.
How important was it for you, sir, to raise your kids to be Beavers fans?
Well, my wife is a Duck, so we are. I'm really pushing the orange and black, especially with the baseball team. So
you do the laundry, I'm sure, on the orange and black.
All the time. Yep, absolutely. All the
Has
time.
she had any luck in getting green and yellow on these boys? Any luck?
A little bit. Football season sometimes, but sometimes that jersey gets lost every now and then. So.
Now we know why he was reluctant to say go
That's
Beavs.
right. He's conflicted.
Yeah, we're asking folks, what spoke to them about this team. What's your take?
Just been a Beaver fan for a long time. Was down there in 06 and 07. And,
Not as long as me, honey.
No, okay, good. Okay, that's good. No, but they play a great brand of baseball, and they were a lot of fun to watch all season. So, yeah.
What sort of qualities do you take away from this team in terms of what you want your boys to play with?
Well, they're down to their last strike, and they come back and pull off a victory. They never quit, and baseball's a game full of life lessons, and they proved that you can always come out on top. So, it was good.
It takes a lot of patience. Those were some long games.
Absolutely. Been part of some of those myself that are that long, and it was great to see them pull them out.
Where'd you play?
Yeah, I played down at Lynn Benton down in Albany. So I was in Courthouse for 5 years, and so.
So you know what it takes to succeed out there on the diamond.
And a lot of kids make that jump from Lynn Benton to Corvallis to play for the Beavs. And man, sometimes you have to go back and remember, Kathy, this series was so close to being over a night earlier. And that ball drops, Beavers get new life, and they make the most of it, obviously.
Yeah, it was a play I heard talked about across the state yesterday. I mean, anyway, went to pick up some pizza last night, and the woman said people weren't picking up their pizzas the night before because they were too involved in the game. Everybody thought it was kind of over. They thought they'd go get the pizza, then they had to wait an hour. Here we come, Mike Parker in the house. Hey, Dave, Mike Parker here.
Go Beavs. Hey, Kathy, go Beavs. Great to be back. 3-time national champions. Go Beavs.
All right, call it well up there. Mike is emceeing this rally today, so we'll let him get to the stage.
Love that voice, though. Just that little snippet of his voice, calling all those great Beaver memories over the years, and we got a little taste of it just now.
Yeah, so let's see who's following Mike out here. I recognize this guy. This is Barry Spiegelberg. He's from the OSU Foundation, celebrating with the team today. Still waiting for others to come out. I guess Mike was in the front limo.
This is clearly the path, though. The path has been made. It's not much of a path, but there's a little bit of an opening there for the team to squeeze by on their way up to the stage to get this rally going. Again, the players arrived down here in the heart of downtown Portland about 10 minutes ago. They've been circling the block, probably looking for the best place to let the kids get out of the limos to get them to the stage, but we've already seen them pop out of the limos. We've seen them holding the championship trophy. We've seen them taking selfies with the trophy and with the crowd behind them. So already some great moments here at the square this afternoon, Kathy, and this is just the beginning of this magical time.
Yeah, I mean, you think they've done this before in 06 and 07, but different every time because you have these young faces we're seeing in the crowd that maybe were alive at a year old but didn't get to experience the real excitement.
Absolutely, and the parents of these young people who said, man, I brought you down here when you don't remember. Now I actually get to bring you down here when you will remember it. And you never know when the next championship is going to be. Maybe it's next year. Maybe it's 10 years from now. So you have to savor each one as they come.
Yeah, I want to mention the swag I'm wearing, the hat and the shirt. These are from the OSU Beaver bookstore, and they were going fast. They have a tent down here on the square, but they wanted me to tell folks that they're restocking, and they'll have them probably by tomorrow afternoon in the store in Corvallis, in Kaiser, and here in Portland.
Okay, so you can dress like Kathy Martin Marshall dresses if you get to these locations here in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Actually, this dominated Omaha hat is not my style because it's a flat bill. I started to curve it, and the guy says, no, 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 wear the flat bill. That's the way the young people like them.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that across the board. Major leagues, college baseball, and they're all going with that wide, flat brim now.
Yeah, yeah. And they do have these in men's and women's sizes as well. So, you know, get one for the whole family because, as you say, it might be a while before this happens again.
I guess if it was that easy, I probably should have grabbed a shirt myself today.
Sky 8, we hear you buzzing above the square here, giving us a view of the thousands gathered to meet this 2018 Oregon State baseball team, College World Series champions, a national title.
You know, I'm kind of getting impatient, to be honest with you. I want to hear this crowd all riled up, and you know they will be once the team gets up on the stage and this pep rally takes over front and center. For the meantime, I'm usually just able to get a few of the crowd going.
I'm
so
looking through the arch here because I see like a big
Kathy.
a big limo here. I'm just going to check out what's happening out this way. What are we organizing over here?
I know, we got to do something.
So what I'm hearing, and now Kathy probably can't even hear me, I could tell her if she was standing right here that we're told we're back to being about a block away. They've circled the block down here at the square, so the team is about a block away still from coming out here and joining the huge crowd that's gathered at Pioneer Courthouse Square. Sky 8 up above has been showing us all afternoon since we started our coverage right at the top of the hour just how big this crowd is, and it has grown over the minutes down here in downtown Portland. I'm hoping that Kathy is not trying to talk at the same time I am. If I apologize if she is. Otherwise, I'll keep going here just to let people know that this, again, is one of 2 rallies today for the Beavers, this being the first. The second one will take place in Corvallis. That one is scheduled to start at 4 p.m.
Team support, they said, but they have 27 players coming in. Oh, and then they corrected. No, 29. I guess 2 more came. They very short on sleep, they're thinking. But this is the area where they're trying to pull the Hummer up. It's getting the Hummer through the side streets over here around the square that's proving to be problematic. But we expect them out at any moment. So we'll walk back in here and visit with some more fans, Drew.
Absolutely. Let's get this crowd riled up. I feel like they're just chomping at the bit to let their voices be heard. So let's hear it. OSU! Oregon State! Fight, fight, fight! OSU! Oregon State! Fight, fight, fight! And with that, Kathy, it looks like we do have the
limo pulling up.
Pioneer Courthouse Square.
We got to let them through here, but yes, the limo is coming up. Fresh off that win in Omaha, a shutout, Drew. That was the most amazing thing. 5-zip. I never saw that coming.
To go from the nail-biter the night before to a game that was almost lost to just totally dominating in the series finale, it was pretty awesome to watch. Clearly, they're trying to make some space right now to get the players through the crowd. There is a small lane.
It looks like Trevor Larnach on the top of the limo holding that trophy, though I can't see quite that car. It looks as those two are cradling the trophy for now. I think they've been taking turns as they've made the way. Pitcher Bryce Femmel in the rear of the limo there. I recognize his long locks. That's how you tell who Bryce is. He's got the hat on backwards, sporting that backward look.
What makes it tough is the crowd. They're so crowded around that limo, Kathy. I don't know if the crowd's going to let these players get to the stage. I mean, they're trying to get a piece of them already before they even get out of the limousines. So selfies being taken right now. People, you can actually see them trying to shoot their phone cameras through the windows of the car. They can't wait for these players to get out.
Yeah, and you talk about the differences between, you know, when they won it a dozen years ago. I don't think the phone traffic was as heavy as it is now.
True.
Everybody not starving for that selfie. So hopefully we'll get them moving here in just a few minutes. I see the OSU support staff trying to, you know, be nice to the crowd, but get them out of the way, give the players enough room.
I think the first ask is polite, the second ask is get out of the way.
Right, right.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, looks like players are absolutely going to come through right now, Kathy.
3 feet.
3 feet, 3 feet, guys. You guys. Yes, a police escort here as the players. Adley Rutschman at the front of the line. Congratulations, Adley.
Thank you very much.
Pride of Sherwood, right there. team being welcomed in a huge way. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Coaches, support staff making their way through the balloon arch here. Oh, a cupcake. Where'd you get the cupcake? Fans giving out cupcakes. Awesome. Preston Jones, they are coming through. All sporting that dominated Omaha hat, giving high fives to the fan. We got a balloon pop. That's a welcome. Andy there. And now they're capturing it on their own phones. All right, Kevin Abel's got to stop right here. Kevin Abel in the house. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling after that big game last night?
Amazing. I know we're having the time of our lives right now, and I love these guys, and I love Beaver Nation, man. They're amazing.
And we get you for a few more years, right? Just a freshman.
Yes, yes, you do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You grew up in San Diego wanting to come to Omaha. Did it live up to your expectation?
I surpassed it by far, by far. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience, and I want to go back, so let's go do it again.
All right, we're counting on it, Kevin. Enjoy the rally. Woo! They're enjoying Voodoo Donuts if you see them coming in.
It's really hard to do the interviews now, Kathy. Their mouths are filled with Voodoo Donuts as they make their way through the black and orange arch.
Jonathan Casey in the house. Good to see you, Jonathan. Just a really resounding welcome here at Pioneer Courthouse Square. There's Susan Casey. Congratulations, Mrs. Casey. And here comes Coach Pat. Fans giving him the biggest welcome. Pat Casey, what do you say to the people of Portland?
Thank you. Thank you for being here, man. And go Beavs. This is awesome.
Never doubted, right? Never doubted.
Right. It was always easy, right?
All right. Enjoy the rally. Families who are on those limos now getting off, wives, kids of some of the coaches who were in there at Omaha for all the excitement. And I think we have successfully unloaded that limo, Drew.
I have to say, your knowledge of the team is invaluable in a situation like this. Pinpointing every single person, wives, children, as they came out of the limousines. That was awesome.
It happens when you go to a few baseball games.
And now I think this entire ceremony will be taken over on the stage, Kathy.
Well, they're all up here now just to keep the celebration going. The third national championship for Oregon State in baseball. Let's salute the 2018 national champion, Oregon State Beavers. And as you all saw, there was really nothing to it. You know, just six more elimination games, like in 2006. There have only been two teams in the 72-year history of college baseball that have faced down 6 elimination games to win them all, the 2006 Beavers and now these 2018 Oregon State Beavers. Last night, just a note, last night in the championship game, and by the way, how many of you watched that game last night? I did too, and it was a lot of fun. The pitcher for the Oregon State Beavers last night, consider this, a complete game, 2-hit shutout, a 2-hitter. It's the first time in 72 years that a pitcher has thrown a 2-hitter in the championship game. By the way, if you didn't know, I was about to introduce him. His name is Kevin Abel, but I think you know that. The Beavers as a team set a College World Series record for most hits in a series in the 72 years. And setting a record for most hits by an individual in the history of the event, the most outstanding player, Adley Rutschman.
And last night, in winning his third national championship, his 900th victory, Oregon State head coach Pat Casey. We're going to hear from Pat. We're going to hear from a couple of the players as we go. But it is such a joy to all of us to see on this gorgeous day. And you don't know how good it feels to be back in the Beaver State as national champions. We have a very distinguished guest today who is helping us to celebrate this great event in the history of sports in the Beaver State, in the state of Oregon. Oregon Governor Kate Brown is here. She is the Beaver State's 38th governor, a tireless champion of higher education. A level playing field for all Oregonians. You can find the governor throughout our great state. She rides horseback on trails around the state. She's at community events, big and small and gigantic. Like this one. She looks good in the orange and black. Please welcome Oregon Governor Kate Brown.
Thank you, everyone. How's our Beaver Nation doing today? On behalf of the entire state of Oregon, we are so proud of each and every one of you on this 2018 National Championship team.
Thank you very much, Governor Kate Brown. President Dr. Ed Ray is traveling internationally on business on behalf of the university, but he has sent to us a quality pinch hitter, a la Preston Jones, a pinch hit two-run double. You remember that against Washington. We've got a pinch hitter here. Provost Ed Fazer is here. Now, you need to know this. He's a good man. He's a very good man. He's a recipient of master's and doctorate degrees from the University of North Carolina. Sorry about that. A thorough Beaver believer now, though, and he knows all about the strength of Beaver baseball from 06, 07, 2018, a powerful advocate for the excellence of our university and all Beaver champions in athletics and in the classroom, research, and the community. Please join me in welcoming Provost Fazer.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Governor. It's great to be here. I'm rooting for the Beavers all the way. It's a great day to be a Beaver. I know Ed Ray's going crazy. He's traveling overseas on university business. He's going crazy. He's not here today. He's said to me, make sure that you say this, 2-out rally. These guys played so many exciting games. My family was texting me just about every inning. My mother writes me after they win the championship. She says, I hope you're excited. I said, I'm really excited, but I need some rest. These guys have represented Oregon State so well. They've represented the state of Oregon so well. They've done it with determination. They've done it with grit. They've done it with integrity. And they have never, ever given up. So congratulations to the 2018 National Championship winners, Oregon State Beavers. Go Beavs!
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
With due respect, North Carolina never wants to see Oregon State again. I wouldn't mind seeing him again someday back there. That was, as he said, part of a thrilling run that come from behind victory against North Carolina. The amazing, now, before we talked about Abel for a moment. I don't know where you all were in the 9th inning 2 nights ago. How about the way this team rallied to win that game and get into the national championship? The greatest character win I've ever seen, maybe the greatest baseball game and finish I've ever seen. And I've been watching baseball for 52 years now. It's a long time. That was one of the greatest moments I've ever seen. Do you all agree? One of the great games ever. There, for the duration of this marvelous event, a leader that has, I know, so much pride in the university, and we are thrilled for his visionary leadership to lead us forward in other sports, to seek other championships. Please join me in welcoming Oregon State Vice President and Director of Athletics, Scott Barnes, for some words.
Right here. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. One quick question. Is it a great day to be a Beaver? Absolutely. We are so excited to see so many of you here. What a statement it makes on the pride that Beaver Nation has in these student athletes. Think about this, where we sit. In our entire history, 150 years of a university history, we've only had 4 team national championships, and 3 of them are in baseball. It is a big deal. And we couldn't be more proud of those who represent us. I like to say this about athletics. Athletics is to Oregon State what the front porch is to one's home. It's not the most important room in the house, but it's the most visible. So those who stand on our front porch and represent us are really important. And when you think about who represents us on our baseball team in particular, the coaches that represent us and the student athletes that have represented us and the level they've done it, can you imagine any more? Awesome. Give them a hand. You'll hear from each one of them, but let me say this, as I look at what's transpired this year, the grit, the determination, I think of fortitude that this team has, back against the wall, never quit, and the resiliency, and that in every single one of these student athletes on the field will carry over to life for them. And it's a reflection of the head coach and his staff in the person that he is and how he recruits. So with that, we'll say it one more time on 3, go Beavs. 1, 2, 3, go Beavs. Thank you.
We are going to bring the coach up in a moment, but I know he would have it this way because he is all about the young men that you see here. So I'm going to name each one from this 2018 National Championship team. They're going to step up, wave, take a bow. We're going to hear from 2 of them later, but I want you to share the love with all of these great players and champions of the 2018 Oregon State baseball team. And we begin with a guy you've already given a shout out to, because this is an alphabetical deal, but here he is, Kevin Abel. Lake Oswego's own Jack Anderson. with a great bunt to help get the Beavers into victory. Andy Armstrong. Left-handed pitcher Jordan Britton. A right-hander from Wisconsin to come to the Beaver State, Nathan Byrne. A young man who knows the head coach pretty well, Joe Casey. A left-hander who dealt pretty well in Omaha, freshman Christian Chamberlain. A catcher with tremendous talent. You're going to hear his name a lot in the future, Troy Clunch. How about this guy scoring the tying run? He hadn't played for a while. He ran the bases well to score the tying run, Zach Clayton. Another pretty good-looking left-handed pitcher, a local kid, Aloha High School, Brendan Eisler. A guy who will come back to help lead the staff next season, 26 career wins already. Please join me in welcoming right-hander Bryce Femmel. Right-hander who pitched a lot of good ball games for the Beavers, won some big ones this year, Grant Gambrell. He was on the All-College World Series team as the shortstop and has played the position as well as anyone ever has in our conference in this great program. And Darwin Barney's been here. There have been some great ones. This guy is right there, maybe the best ever. First-round pick on his way to the Orioles, shortstop Caden Grenier. One of the true leaders of this team, a four-year player and starter most of that time at third base, an unsung, underrated hero, but one of the key components to this national championship run, third baseman Michael Gretler. Single season strikeout leader, career strikeout leader, tied for the wins all time, left-hander Luke Heimlich. Another young man who's done a lot of good things already and a lot of great days ahead. He had some big moments in Omaha, including that double against Washington from just across the river in Washington, Preston Jones. The best leadoff hitter throughout the 2018 college baseball season. He has been a joy to watch through his career. His pro career starts soon. A fifth-round draft pick, Stephen Kwan. The 2-0 pitch to Trevor Lornick. Built into right field. It's on its way. Trevor Lornick. I'm sorry, I had to do it again. I'll never forget it. It's one of the great moments in the history of Oregon State athletics. That inning, that swing to put the Beavers into the championship game. Trevor will embark on his pro career as another first-round pick off this championship team. The next young man is the highest drafted player ever in Oregon State history. One of the greats of all time in this league, in our university, the number 4 overall pick in the MLB draft, the captain of your 2018 national champions, Nick Madrigal. This guy only hit 3 home runs in Omaha, 3 in 4 games to help the Beavers come through that tough losers bracket. He hit some balls I'll never forget watching their arc. He's got a great future ahead of him too next year. Please join me in welcoming Tyler Malone. A left-handed pitcher who made life interesting for himself and all of us in closing out the Mississippi State game to get into. But then how about the double play that he turned, amongst so many other things, so many great things he's done and will continue to do with this program. Please join me in welcoming Jake Mulholland. One of the true leaders on this team, a young man that I have just been honored to get to know and watch play and his leadership skills, and he made sure, you should have seen this, he got the national championship trophy on the back of the plane as we left Omaha, carried it on, and seat belted it in the back seat, strapped it in. He plays the game as hard and as tough as anyone I've watched through the years here at Oregon State. Please join me in welcoming Kyle Novak. A young man who will be part of the new look for the Beavers going forward. Had some moments in games this year, but his best days are ahead as we look forward to whatever may unfold in 2019 and beyond. Please join me in welcoming infielder Ryan Ober. A young man who went to Crater High School and then went to Southwestern Oregon Community College down in Coos Bay and then came to Oregon State and gave the Beavers so many big innings, so many important performances throughout the year. His best days continue to be ahead too. Please join me in welcoming right-handed reliever Dylan Pierce. We've already talked a little bit about this guy, and I don't know what else to say except to remind you of the accolades, the most outstanding player, a College World Series record, a single-season record for runs batted in. Please join me in welcoming the switch-hitting catcher, Adley Rutschman. We thrilled over Caden Grenier's down to the last strike hit to get the game tied. Trevor Larnach's 2-run homer to give the Beavers the lead in the next to the last game of the season to set up last night's championship finale. But we don't get there at all without one of the great at-bats by a tough young man and leader who found his way on base to open that rally in the 9th inning. First baseman, team leader, please join me in welcoming Zach Taylor. A right-handed pitcher I'm so thrilled to know is coming back. He's won a lot of games in his Oregon State career. He is one of the finest young men that I've been around in this program. Great family, great Beaver. Please join me in welcoming Sam Tweet. And some players that, due to injuries and other things, weren't able to get quite as much time on the field. This guy you'll see again next year in a very important role for the Beavers. Please join me in welcoming out of Lake Oswego, pitcher Mitchell Verberg. A young man who survived a harrowing accident, a farm accident last year, or summer job working on the farm. He has a chance, though, to make big contributions to the Beavers going forward. Please join me in welcoming outfielder Elliott Willie. Willie of the 9 fingers. Yeah, those are nice shorts. Now, finally, our last player before we welcome the head coach, and he comes from a great Oregon State family, a tremendous athlete with his best days ahead, too, as well. Going to be a hitter, a defender. Please join me in welcoming Zach Zaleski. And with that, it's an honor for me to get to work closely with this next gentleman that you'll hear from. He's been the head coach at Oregon State for 24 years, but the thing that he does best, yes, he's won 3 national championships, but he builds men. He builds young men and challenges them. He talked about the win being a character win. It was all about character to come back in the 9th inning and beat Arkansas in Game 2 to put themselves in position to win the national championship. But it's not just a character that you flip a switch on to rise up in the 9th inning. It's the foundation of everything this man is. Family man, a man of faith, a man of great love for these young men. Please join me in welcoming Oregon State head baseball coach Pat Casey.
Thank you. Hey, thank you guys for showing up. It's awesome to come here. We were here in 2006, and a lot of people from a lot of different states didn't think we'd ever get back. And here we are again. When you go to the College World Series, only 8 teams show up, as you know, and you're taking on the entire country. And there's only one state that brings a champion home, and that year was Oregon State University, man. I know that watching those games was probably exciting. Being in the dugout was a little more exciting. And I can tell you that the guys behind me, Mike talked about character, and we've talked about that all year long. You cannot find a better group of young men to represent the great state of Oregon and Oregon State University than these guys behind me. Yeah, we're going to keep it up, right? So they stayed up a little bit late last night, I think. I'm not sure of that, but they all look a little tired to me. But you know, when you got to go to work for 14 days in a row, you got to have a day off. So you know. Oh yeah. So Mike wants me to do something he forgot to do. Yeah, and introduce our staff. So first of all, Associate Head Coach, where are you? Come on up here, Pat Bailey. Pitching Coach Nate Yeski. Our infield coach, Andy Jenkins. We got Billy Rao. Where you at, Billy Rao? Ryan Ortiz. Ryan Gordon. Yeah, and the guy that caught the ball in center field in 2006 to win the national championship, Tyler Graham. Is that everybody? If I've missed anybody. Who? I said Ryan Ortiz. Ryan Ortiz. Yeah, right there, man. Oh, yeah, and how about our captain? Where's Jonathan Casey? Where you at? Every single morning, Jonathan asks me if we can beat whoever we're playing. So he's looking for who we're playing first game next year already. So, hey, why don't you join me in giving this group of young men, your national champions, the loudest roar you can give them. Oregon State Beaver Baseball 2018.
We're going to hear from a couple of these players representing everyone else before we wrap it up, and just want to remind you that if you don't already have it, the OSU Beaver Store, 6th and older here downtown, has the official national championship gear, so we hope you'll make sure you grab that. This party's moving on south to Courthouse too, so if you got nothing else to do, come down and join us, because we want to get a couple of young men up here who have, as Pat Casey just said, so well represented the state, the university, in just remarkable ways throughout their careers here, and great things are ahead. But I want to start with a young man who is the Pac-12 Scholar Athlete of the Year. The Beavers had the highest team in Omaha. Welcome again, Jack Anderson. Jack, congratulations on the championship, but as Pat just said, Coach Casey, 12 years ago was the last time we've been here doing this. You were here too. Where were you? And tell us what that meant to you 12 years ago.
I got here as early as possible. I was just right in the front row.
How old were you then?
I was 11, 12.
Okay.
I'm really old now. I think I'm like, I'll say I was like 9 though.
Okay. So you got here early, like we're my family right here. So tell us a little bit about what you remember about the day and what it means now.
I just remember seeing the guys coming out of the big limo with the national championship trophy, and that's kind of where my dream started to be a Beaver. I was a Beaver my whole life. So to see guys like Tyler Grant,
then you'd be coming back with your own national championship 12 years ago.
That was always means the world to me to have everyone here supporting all of us. It's something special about Beaver Nation.
And one final thing on that, Jack. I mean, I see young people all over. There's a few that aren't quite so young that are here too, but we appreciate everybody being here, whatever your perspective and rooting interest in this great team and program. But what about the youngsters out there today, the 9, 10, 11-year-olds, and what's possible for them?
Yeah, I was just like you guys being at this thing 12 years ago. So keep playing the game, keep dreaming, and you never know where this game's going to take you.
Let's hear it for Jack Anderson. Thank you, Jack. And we're going to close with some words from the captain and the young man who has meant so much to this team as a captain and leader, and beyond the great skills as a baseball player. But he came here out of Elk Grove, California, with the goal that he and all these guys achieved last night, and that was to win another national championship for Oregon State. Please join me in welcoming Nick Madrigal. Nick, we're going to miss you. We're going to follow you in your journey through professional baseball and into the major leagues. You look forward to so many great things ahead. But I get the feeling that you and this place, these guys, this program, you came here to accomplish what you did last night, and it's always going to be special to you.
You know, I want to thank Beaver Nation for making this place a home for me and welcoming me from the first day I stepped on campus here. You guys make this place really special. I said it before, but this is the best decision I've made in my life. It's fun. Play for Oregon State.
Nick, what was it then? I mean, there's a guy up here who's been introduced. One of the great things about this guy who's on his way to become a Major League Baseball player, when asked about his favorite athlete, favorite baseball player, could have gone with Dustin Pedroia or Derek Jeter, Jose Altuve, whatever else. His answer to that is Elk Grove's own Jake Rodriguez, who is on this staff. And Nick, that's out of the heart. I mean, he helped. He's one of the reasons you're here because of what he did at Oregon.
It is. You know, I've looked up to Jake, you know, my whole life, and you know, he told me how special Oregon State and Beaver Nation was, and you know, once the first day I stepped on campus and caught a game, you know, I immediately fell in love with it. You know, it's a family atmosphere from the fans to the coaching staff to all the players. You know, I'm just very thankful to be able to say I was an Oregon State Beaver.
And let's close with a final thought from the captain for this great national championship team, Nick Madrigal. Nick, I don't know when you begin the pro ball journey and all of that, maybe get a day or two to decompress. But as you take a look one last time at all of these teammates and what you guys just accomplished, a final thought from you kind of to send us out on just what this gathering, this event, this accomplishment all means.
You know, I'm going to take this whole ride with these guys for the rest of my life, and you know, I have 30 of my best friends behind me, and I know we're going to remember this for the rest of our lives. And you know, I can't wait to reunite in 30 years and, you know, hug these guys. Like, these are my brothers now, but thank you guys for everything.
Let's hear it for Nick Madrigal. Nick, thank you for everything. That will officially wrap up the ceremonial part of it. You might be able to catch some of the guys on the way out. They'll do the best they can to accommodate any pictures or anything else. Oh, they want to see the trophy. Bring it out here. Caden Grenier with the trophy. Let's set her down. Hold it up, Caden. Everybody want, there it is. Held aloft by Caden Grenier. One last time, Beaver Nation, thank you for coming out today. Thank you for following this great team and program. Let's hear it one more time for the 2018 National Champions.
The Oregon State Beavers sending the team off in style. They'll head to Corvallis for a 4 o'clock rally. What a great moment here at Pioneer Courthouse Square. Thousands showing up to welcome this team back from Omaha. And what was so encouraging is to hear all the names, as Mike Parker was making introductions, of the players who will be back. Adley Rutschman is back. The great pitcher Kevin Abel is back. Chamberlain, Femmel, Isert, all coming back to this great Beaver baseball program. So the future looking very bright in Corvallis, and really just a spectacular day out here on the square. I want to bring in one young fan here, Jake. Jake, what do you take away from this great day?
It's just so amazing and stuff to see like a team who I want to play for in the future come this far and do so amazing.
Well, you know, Jack Anderson just stood up there and said he was a little boy when he came here. So you picture yourself in the orange and black?
Definitely. One day I want to play center field and pitcher for these exact same team.
And when you watch the Beavers, what do you think it will take beyond talent to make the squad?
Hard work, dedication, and like the ability just to go out there and give everything I got.
And persevere is what we all learned.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, good luck to you, Jake. I know you play Clackamas baseball, so all the best, and thanks for being here. Brenda, a really great day to be a Beaver.
Oh, you can say that again. I'm not a Beaver, and I want to be a Beaver on this day. Congratulations to everybody. What a rally.